Greetings, everyone. This is Rock and Roll Spot Convention with the Witty Comic Roundup. We've covered this week's X-Men books. Now it's time to move on. Kicking things off, we've got Moon Knight, number 25, the enormous 25th issue. So, where we left off, Moon Knight has learned the villain plaguing him of late is Black Spectre, which is kind of odd because, well, the first Black Spectre is dead, and the other one's in jail. So, who's it? And it doesn't seem as though the original's come back, so we open with a prologue. Man's walking through a street in New York alone. Explain that they say there's a place you can go when you need to. There's a man. He will welcome you. We'll ask how he can help you. All he asks for in return is your soul. So Black Spectre basically has a his own version of the Midnight Mission. Guy comes to him and well, claims that his wife is ruining him, or his ex-wife is ruining him. The house, the kids. So, Black Spectre asks if Keith Burroughs, the man in question, wishes his ex-wife to disappear. Well, he does. And so, move on to Moon Knight and Tigra at the grave of Black Spectre, the original. It's apparently still there. Later, Stephen Grant visits Zodiac at the Myrmidon, basically wanting to know for certain that that Zodiac is not Black Spectre. But Zodiac makes it clear that if he goes after Moon Knight, he's not going to be someone else. He's going after him as Zodiac. But later, 8-Ball, C-list villain on a good day, comes to the Midnight Mission. He's scared of Black Spectre. So, 8-Ball knows where to find him. And so, turns out that Black Spectre came to him. Told 8-Ball that he had something 8-Ball wanted. So, Moon Knight says, bring me to him. I'll take care of him. Probably putting down Black Spectre never gets old. So, but Moon Knight and 8-Ball talk a bit, with Moon Knight learning a bit about who 8-Ball is. And 8-Ball asking, didn't you have, we refer to the boat there as the Moon Boat, though apparently it belongs to Don, and, well, as Moon Knight puts it, he tabs on resources he might need to acquire if the situation arises. Adding, he used to have it all: secret base, mooncopter, the works. He doesn't have the money or the staff to keep it up anymore. So now he lives in a haunted house and has a checklist of things he can steal with minimal effort. 8-Ball asks what happened to his pilot. Well, Frenchie and Moon Knight don't talk anymore. Moon Knight then asks if 8-Ball's looking for a job, and, well, 8-Ball says, that be so crazy? With 8-Ball then explaining that he was a jet propulsion engineer. He designed and built a hovercraft in the shape of an 8-ball rack, with a ball rack, and flew it around even. And so he's at Moon Knight asks, then why are you robbing banks with a pool ball on your head? And 8-Ball says that he lost his job in security clearance because of his gambling. After that, not a lot of entry-level positions in jet engine jobs for a serial loser supervillain. Uncle Sam's Operation Paperclip days are in the past. Sometimes it's just easier to be the guy everyone thinks you are, And Moon Knight he gets that. But turns out that was what 8-Ball was supposed to bring Moon Knight to Black Spectre, saying that Black Spectre was going to kill him as 8-Ball runs. Then flashback to the last ride of the Karnak Cowboys. Karnak Cowboys being Mark Spector, former Marine, former CIA contractor. All this information is derived from S.H.I.E.L.D., Nick Fury. Then you have Jean-Paul Duchamp, formerly Legion étrangère, pilot and wheelman, specialist in all current civilian and military vehicles. Became a mercenary because of a broken heart, allegedly. But don't bother stereotype, he's dangerous. Next is Robert Plesko, Dr. Robert Plesko. Intel, specialist in psychological profiling, reconnaissance, and information gathering. An academic gunman, he seems to treat the mercenary business as a fascinating case study. And finally, there's Layla Al-Falouli. Background unclear. Something of a wild card, known to have a wide network of criminal smuggling and counterfeiting connections. They don't know. S.H.I.E.L.D. doesn't know as much about her as they should, which is worrying. But they've been hired by or contracted by S.H.I.E.L.D. to bring in Dr. Christopher Bosquet, formerly the CIA's Cobra Project, program exploring methods of mind control. Bosquet has gone rogue with project equipment and data, looking for a new home from which he can continue his research. Apparently, Cobra Project was seen in Marvel Preview number 21. And so, the team gets in their positions. Layla gets the key card. However, at first it doesn't work. Second time it works, they bust. Layla and Mark bust in the room, take down Bosquet's security, and then knock out Bosquet. Staging the scene as they need to. Back in the present, at the Myrmidon, Zodiac finds the second Black Spectre, who, well, he's thinking he may just kill him anyway. After all, doesn't like sharing. But Black Spectre 2 tells Zodiac the new Black Spectre wants Zodiac. Hands me earbuds. Apparently, Black Spectre's looking forward to meeting Zodiac. But Moon Knight realizes that Black Spectre is using Cobra Project mind control methods. Well, the guy Sarnak. Though this isn't the first time some idiot calling himself Black Spectre tried to put Mark in a trap. Apparently, Ryan Trent, former officer Ryan Trent, the second Black Spectre, can eat solid food again. Mostly. But Black Spectre unleashes a fleet of drones, and he's also recruited Jigsaw, Stuart Clark. Though Moon Knight deals with the drones, manages to get his hands on a gun, and takes care of them more. And Jigsaw asks, with Mark's training, how come he doesn't use a gun? Why the Why the Moonarangs? Why the, why this, the extremistics? To which Mark simply states that he doesn't like who he is with a gun in his hand, and neither was Jigsaw. Back in the past, Karnak Cowboys are getting their package to where they're headed, but they get a call. They're being followed. It appears to be Hydra. Apparently, Bousquet has reworked his tracking device, and so they pull out. Mark pulls out Bousquet's tooth as Hydra bears down on them. But no. Manslaughter Marsdale and then Man Mountain Marco take turns fighting Moon Knight. Marco's got some new eyes. Moon Knight manages to take them both down. In his own spectacular manner. The Karnak Cowboys have the group of Hydra operatives that are tailing the Karnak Cowboys. They have a Pygmalion agent with them. Guy who's got some scars. It's like here. Mark deals with the boarding action. In the present, it turns out that Marco and Manslaughter Marsdale weren't the only ones that Black Spectre brought along. Waxman. Not happy about having been buried alive. Back in the past, the Hydra operative manages to grab Dr. Bousquet as they're leaving with him. Bousquet is killed by Mark. And it seems that Layla is killed in an explosion. Moon Knight manages to escape from Waxman with the help of 8-Ball. When Moon Knight asks why, why did 8-Ball help him, and well, 8-Ball says that he didn't want to be the guy everyone thought he was anymore. But Keith Burroughs is masquerading as either masquerading or actually is a guard to Myrmidon, and puts in some earbuds and basically starts a riot. And Zodiac, Mr. Fear, and second Black Spectre managed to get out. There's also a backup story reprinting the classic Moon Knight story, A Long Way to Dawn, but won't be looking over that. Solid 25th issue. I like that we met the comics version of Layla Al-Falubi. It's been stated that she will be appearing soon in modern day set Marvel books as Scarlet Scarab, the identity she took on during the Disney Plus Moon Knight series. Moving on, though, to our next book, we've got Scarlet Witch number 6. Where we left off, a mysterious man who seems to look who resembles a certain master of magnetism, certainly a certain recently deceased master of magnetism, popped up in caves near Lock Hill, New York. We open with a fight raging on the planet Potoko between members of the Pursuer Corps as well as a member of the Arch Sisterhood. But while escaping the pursuers, the red door appears, and the last door appears, and Ganymede of the Arch Sisterhood steps through. She tells Wanda what her deal is, and Wanda explains there is something of a problem. Ganymede wants, while in stasis, the rest of the Arch Sisterhood were all killed by Skrulls. She'd like satisfaction. She'd like justice. And Wanda points out that her son-in-law is kind of, the emperor of the Kree-Skrull Alliance. But Wanda will take Ganymede there to petition the emperor. They arrive. Ganymede does have some, and try to leap into battle, but with Wanda trying to say, hey, calm down, let me handle this. But things get cooled down, and Hulkling opts to help. After all, he's king of space. The Unified Kree-Skrull, they go through the Unified Kree-Skrull archives. Apparently the information on the Arch Sisterhood was classified for ruling eyes only. And so Hulkling lets his mother-in-law borrow his magic space sword, and Wanda and Ganymede go to Klar, a former Skrull prison world in the current Blood Skrull stronghold. They had taken on the faces of the rest of the other members of the deceased members of the Arch Sisterhood, and Wanda and Ganymede take down the Blood Skrulls with their leader, Acro, being killed by Ganymede. With Ganymede asking if Wanda would become her squire. Wanda and Billy have a mother-son moment on Throne World 2 later, before Wanda returns to Lock Hill. Apparently, Ganymede was left with Scythia, with Wanda thinking they'll get along famously. But Darcy explains that she's been looking into the magic-proof necklace. Apparently, the rocks in the necklace have been around for decades, but Mysterium's brand new. How do you get a derivative of something before it exists? However, there's a man has come in while Wanda was away with metal. It seems to be none other than Wanda's late father, Max Eisenhardt, better known to the world at large as Magneto. Now, there is a theory that was postulated a couple months ago that it's actually the Magneto clone Joseph. We'll have to see. There is a fun little about next issue note from Darcy stating that customers may have noticed Wanda's cousin Joe. His relationship recently lost its magnetism, and he's in a bad way about it, so he'll be hanging out at the shop for a little bit. One might think he looks familiar, but But it's just because he's got one of those faces. Totally no relation to anyone you may or may not have seen on the news. And that is where the issue ends. I was a little worried for when this book started that this was just a miniseries, but I thought it was. I'm glad it at least seems to be an ongoing. Moving on, though, to our last book for the moment, we've got Danger Street number 7. Where we left off, Starman and Orion fought it out. The warlord was captured by the lady cop, and Mr. Simon had made a deal with the outsiders for protection from the manhunter that was chasing him. So we open. It's been a month, but Lady Cop is at the office of the Commodore. She's arranged a meeting. It took a lot of working with lawyers and so on and so forth. Apparently, as the book opens, the meeting was scheduled for 11 a.m. It's now 3 p.m. Jack Ryder comes in for an emergency meeting, and well, he gets in fairly quickly. Mr. Simon is on a beach, being a prick to the waitstaff when the manhunter finds him. On Danger Street, the dingbats spray paint over the D on Danger Street and get brought in by one of the other officers, who is currently acting chief in Chief Liza Warner, Lady Cop's absence. Jack Ryder and Warner talk a bit, adding that when she tells him vaguely what's going on, but he states that he has a friend that could maybe help. He gives her his card, saying call him anytime. Work is being done on Apocalypse to create what it is they need, though it appears that the fuel for the fires, high fire has been added to the fuel. The dingbats are arrested. Non-Fat is put in a cell with Warlord. Again, you get more with Lady Cop and Jack Ryder. Orion is drowning the sorrows of his defeat, and ends up pouring some of his beer on his mother box, shorting it out. Manhunter goes after Mr. Simon, but the outsiders are waiting for him. Warlord and Non-Fat play gin in their cell. They're working together, though, talking about who they are and how, warlords belong to various groups, and tried to join the Justice when he got back from Strateris, but everyone thought he was laughed at. He's got a sword and a loincloth. But Starman, took him seriously. Basically became his friend. Back with Lady Cop, as the office closes up, the receptionist says, she'll have to be walked out. The receptionist, however, shares that her son is being held by the Commodore, and anytime she doesn't do something just right, well, she'll get a finger in the mail of his. And sure, she should probably go to the police or the government, but the Commodore owns all of them. Some are bribed, some have sons too. And she wonders if maybe they're all kept together, in the same place, so they can be friends. And as the issue ends, Lady Cop calls Jack Ryder likely to arrange the Creeper helping out with the investigation, while the outsiders drag the manhunter ashore. I'm loving it. I'm really enjoying this book. It's interesting. I'm eager to see just how everything comes together in the end, because this kind of goes all over the place. So yeah. Anyways, that is going to do it for now. Huge shout out to Patreon patron Xander Lee. Thank you for your support. As always, feel free to like, share, and subscribe. Links to my Facebook, Twitter, Mastodon, Patreon, and PayPal can be found in the description box down below. This is Rock and Roll Spock signing off saying, live long and rock hard.